Okay, today I'm going to tell you why you should not hit your dog. And I'm going to tell you scientifically why that does not work. All right. So you're not just thinking, okay, I shouldn't do it, but my dog is really misbehaving. I'm going to tell you actually it does not work. It does not scientifically, it doesn't work. And I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you what worked for me. So my goodest boy here, he's a very good boy. He listens to me and he's very respectful. He's very nice to people and he's generally a pretty happy dog. Of course, he's older now. But it didn't always start out this way. In fact, he was a very difficult dog, right? So he was biting me constantly. He had some potty issues and he would challenge me and poop all over the house and stuff like that. But over the years, all of those issues were addressed. Okay, so let me get to the topic. The first reason why you should not hit your dog is because they actually do not know what to do most of the time when you're trying to discourage the behavior. What all it does is just tells your dog that you shouldn't do XYZ, but your husky doesn't know what he's supposed to do. And this is very obvious when you're potty training for the first time. And, let's say they have an accident inside the house, but you know what? They don't understand where they're supposed to pee or potty. And all that does is, discourage the behavior. But, they also understand that they have to pee at some point, so you're really not accomplishing anything, right? So that's the first reason. The second reason is in order to have a successful relationship and training, for example, you want to build trust. The higher the trust, the easier it is for them to listen to you, right? So dogs are just like humans. If they like you, they trust you, they're gonna behave well. To the extent that sometimes I'll tell you that they trust you so much in situations that I would say that they shouldn't trust you. So for example, I remember we were driving through this snowstorm one time, and he was totally chill, and I was actually freaking out inside. All right, let me turn around. Excuse me. I was actually freaking out inside because it was a really bad storm. And this guy was completely chill, and all he was doing, he was looking outside, he was looking at me. He was not breaking a sweat, right? He had total trust in me. So that's an example of where you want your dog to be with that trust level. If they trust you, they're going to listen to you, and it's going to be easier to train them. The third reason that scientifically that does not work is these guys actually, I would say that they tend to not remember. In other words, the training signal to them is actually much stronger when you reward them appropriately than if you discourage them. And hitting is actually not one of the best ways to discourage them either. So what I eventually figured out was, and this is, at least this is on my husky, is that if I really want to discourage him, I would remove my attention. Like literally what happened with training him out of the biting habit. I mean, he was biting me really hard, and he was going through a teething phase, and he was biting me super, super hard. And he would actually accidentally draw blood. And he wasn't trying to harm me. I know that. He probably thought I was tougher than that. I'm not a dog. I don't have fur coats, and my skin breaks easily with those teeth. But he doesn't know that. He's probably thinking I'm Superman. But so obviously he didn't want to do that, but he did. So as he was playing with me really rough, how I discouraged him from playing rough with me was basically I just looked the other way. with my arm still in his mouth. And he very quickly figured out that I don't like that, right? Because you realize whenever he bites me, I remove my attention. And attention is currency for these guys. So that's the next reason why you should not be hitting your dog, because even as a negative reinforcement mechanism, it does not is not the best. You're probably much better off just removing your attention, removing your association with them. For example, you might walk away, you might go to another room or something like that. They'll get it very quickly, at least in my case. You should try it. I think it's really going to help. All right, so what works? The best way to do that is positive reinforcement. And this is where you have to do a little bit of your own research and observation. You have to figure out what makes your dog tick. Some dogs love attention, most of them do. Some dogs love food, and some other dogs love, certain types of treats. So this guy is very, very motivated by food. And obviously, high value treats like meat jerky, beef jerky and stuff like that really, really work. But he's actually really motivated by just food in general. Like, I can reward him with, some kibbles and he'll be happy. So that's how I train him, is basically whenever I find him doing something right, I will mark that behavior with a clicker, like click, so he knows, and then I'll go ahead and reward him with something. And if it's something I really want to reward him on, I remember training him to, potty outside. When he did it right the first time, I gave him a lot of, high value treat. I think I gave him salmon, if I'm not mistaken. I had some salmon boiled and ready to go. I think I had some probably some beef jerky at the time as well. I can't remember now. It's been too long. He's 9 years old. But I just remember I used to reward him with high value treats. And he very quickly got it. In fact, he was breaking up his pee into multiple portions in order to get more treats. Anyway, so I hope this helps. I think, it's worth clearing up why hitting your dog doesn't really work. So there's no reason to do it. There's really no reason to do it. It's only going to erode that trust between you and your dog. Remember, they're supposed to, you're supposed to be their, number one trusted ally. You're supposed to be their, he's like a family member to me. So, that's kind of how I see it. So, if they trust you, you're going to have an easier time to train. You're going to have a harder time to get them to do anything, especially with a Siberian Husky. Let me tell you, if a Siberian Husky does not like you, it's very hard. They're not going to listen. They're just not going to pay attention. They're not going to listen to you. It's hard enough as it is. So there's that. All right, so hopefully this helps. And, we're just going to spend a few more seconds here watching him. I love this guy. Okay, and I hope you all have a good day.